Welcome back to DKW. We're talking fashion today, and we have the lovely Nicoletta Adda. You are an image consultant from Pink Ananas Image Consultancy?
That's right.
Great, great. Tell us a little bit about your work and what you do.
Well, as an image consultant, I advise people on the best way to present themselves. I obviously focus on the visual effect, and I give them the tools to get a confident, stylish look without being fashion victims, since we're talking about that today.
You've got such an exotic accent. Where are you from?
I'm Italian.
Well, you know, a lot of fashion. Yeah, from Italy. Ladies, I'm going to throw it to you. Do any of you have a question for our lovely Nicoletta?
Yes, I do. I'd like to... Hi, Nicoletta.
Hello.
I'd like to ask, what is the principle of the power of image?
People buy people. That is the power of image. We give people enough food for thought just by wearing certain things, presenting ourselves in a certain way. So the perception that people have of us becomes our brand. Wow. And we can't help it because people will always have an opinion of us. But it is up to us to manage that opinion and to know how to do that so that they have a good perception is very powerful. Statistics say that 55%, which is over half of the impact we make, is given by our appearance, the way that we present ourselves. Wow. And that is really powerful. I'll just give you an example that made history, and that goes back to the days of the very popular show Mad Men. During the 1960 elections, presidential elections, Kennedy won over Nixon on TV. The radio listeners thought that Nixon had won, but the TV viewers outnumbered the radio listeners. Wow. And that TV image is what turned the tide. So image can make history.
Wow, that's amazing.
So what do you think, or so why I should say, do you think a person's image is important to their life?
Because of what I just mentioned, because what people, the opinion that people form of us is based on what they see. We are human beings and we are visually dominant. So we believe what we see over what we hear.
Right.
True.
Therefore, first impression is crucial. Mm-hmm. And first impression is formed in the very first few seconds that people see us. Mm. So that first impression, which is formed in a bunch of seconds, lasts for a very long time. And it takes a very long time to undo a bad first impression.
That's why we're really just about friends now.
Well, anyway.
Yes.
Nicola, so I have another question for you. What an average person could do to improve the way others see them?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Have a regular image MOT. Assessing the way we present ourselves is really an essential ingredient and the first step to successful dressing. We should always ask ourselves a couple of questions. When I walk into a room, what do people think of me?
Right.
And does my image communicate my best personal and professional? So answer to those questions honestly and start from there. And we go back to the first impression, and we go back to visually dominant people. So what everyone can do is to take stock of their assets, their strengths, their weaknesses, work on their strengths, enhance them, complement them, and learn how to smooth over the little flaws. And that's what everyone can do. Learn how to dress for your colors, for your body shape, for your lifestyle. You have to put everything together. It's a combination. It's not in my recipe, I'm Italian, I always talk about food. In my recipe, there are 5 main ingredients to successful dressings. The colors, the styles, how you keep your wardrobe, how you shop, and your grooming.
Right.
And that is something that everyone can learn with more or less guidance, and will just ensure that you dress confidently and stylishly, not fashionably necessarily, but currently.
Yeah.
So that's what is everyone can do to help themselves.
You know, it's really good that you mentioned that, because we hear a lot about fashion analysis, and one of the things that I put down here that I wanted to ask you about is color and style analysis.
Yes.
What is that, and how can we incorporate it for, like, you know, normal day-to-day people like ourselves?
Yes, absolutely. Well, let me give you another food example. You try to eat what is good for your body so that you have a well-functioning body. Well, we should wear clothes that make us look good and feel good and stay away from the ill-fitting ones. So, to know what the best colors are for you, the ones that enhance and complement your complexion, to know what your proportions are, what your body shape is, so that you can dress it with the right fabrics and styles, gives you the opportunity to get this look, confident look and stylish look. And colors and style analysis help you map your physical attributes so that you know exactly how to make the most of your assets. And it is really essential that everyone knows that, because especially colors have also a psychological, very strong psychological and emotional effect on people. So to know how and when to use different colors or not to can be very crucial to how memorable your image will be.
Wow.
And we want it to be a good memory, not a bad one.
Yes.
Definitely. So when you're consulting people, what kind of things do you kind of take into, you know, what kind of things do you consult about, aside from what they wear and how they wear it? I mean, is it the overall, the hair,
everything, because when you talk about colors, you talk about all colors that are on your body. So it's the hair, it's the makeup, it's the clothing, it's the accessories. So it includes everything. Obviously, what is most affected by colors is your face. So this is where it is important to get the colors right. I help them with the colors, I help them with understanding their body shape, as I said, their proportions, so that they know what to do if they have short legs and a long body, or vice versa, if they have narrow shoulders, pear shape, you know, all these things, because there is a kind of ideal of proportions. So we try to get as close as possible to perfection, to the ideal. And you can do that by using the right cuts, the right colors, the right details in the right place, the right jewelry. It's a combination of all this that makes a look successful and nice to look at, pleasant, because when you are dealing with people, whether it's at work or personally, what you want is that they feel at ease with you and they're not distracted by something that does not quite work. So you were looking at some images earlier on.
Yes.
And do you remember the face of those three women? Probably not, because you were concentrating on the top, on the boots, on the hat, on everything that was wrong. But if everything is right, or at least the majority of it, then you concentrate on the person.
Right.
So,
can I ask?
Yes.
So, because you've mentioned about the personal and then the professional.
Yes.
So when you are like consulting with someone, is there a difference between their personal style? The personal image and then their professional image. Should they be the same? Should they reflect each other, or can it be that they're polar opposite?
There isn't a hard and fast rule here, and it depends very much on someone's life and profession. many people have professional and personal lives that blend. Others have totally separate ones. What is good to know and is, I would say, essential to know is what looks good on you, and then look appropriate for the different occasions.
Right.
As an Italian, I can tell you one thing. We are fed and brought up with milk and style. and one concept that we are taught from a very early age is the concept of la bella figura, which means literally look the part and act the part.
Right.
So it is really paramount that you learn how to look the part and act the part through your the visual part of your brand, which is your image, in every situation. Artists can be artists at work and at home. Doctors have to look like doctors at work, but maybe they like rock music in their spare time, and they like, a wild look. So they have to be able to discern when to wear what. And that's why I'm saying, as long as you know what is good and appropriate, it can be different in many cases.
I just had a quick question that
Yes.
I wanted to ask you. Why do women have to see themselves as brands now? Because I know you mentioned it in the beginning about, you are a brand.
Yes.
Why is it so important to make sure as women we have a correct brand, we look a certain way per se?
Okay, let me help define brand.
Yes.
Brand is the perception that other people have of us. So we all have a brand, whether we like it or not. What is important is that we have a good brand.
Right.
So brand is important for everyone. It doesn't have a gender. It's, nobody's exempt from having it. However, women tend to blend in, men tend to stand out. That's the nature.
Wow.
So it is important for a woman to feel confident, and to do that, women need to identify their strengths, their qualities, and be able to portray them through their image, which is the visual part of their brand.
Right.
So I hope I have answered your question.
No, you did. You definitely did. Because I was wondering, so if we are a brand, how do we brand ourselves, and why is it so important for women? But one final thing I wanted to ask you is, how do people get in contact with an image consultant like you, and what do they do when they meet you, when they go for a consultation?
They say, I got nothing to wear, and a lot in my wardrobe. Well, how do they contact me? They find me through my website. They have me recommended by people they know. And what drives them to contact me is their need to feel good about themselves.
Right.
When we always have feedback from other people, and we know when they like us. That makes us feel good. But if we feel like we are not succeeding in that, that's when maybe we need some help. And I help them find that confidence through the way they look. Sometimes we go as far as the way they walk, the way they stand. But this is what drives them. But one thing that I always tell all my clients is, please follow fashion with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
Sparsely. Because style endures, fashion changes. And as long as you know what is good for you, you will always look stylish and use fashion as a tool rather than be victimized by it.
That's a fabulous one. I love it. Use fashion with a pinch of salt. Nicoletta, it was absolutely lovely having you on. Absolute pleasure. I learned a lot. Ladies, we're going to be back after this break, and we're going to be speaking to Dennis Emmanuel, who is also a fashion stylist.